Previously on Laymans Journal Live. Teacher charged with having relations with student in school closet, now accused of inappropriately touching 5 others, including a girl. And there she is. Teacher with 8-week-old baby pleads guilty to having relations with 15-year-old student. Florida nurse caught by husband having relations with 15-year-old stepson. Loses medical license. Report here. Prep school teacher, 27, filmed relations with student she was tutoring. Quote, not my best thinking. Oh, okay. Police, 2 teachers accused of having threesome with teenage student. Well, let me put that one to the side because we'll talk about this one later. Then you have teen boy vanishes after alleged by California therapist as mom fears he's made a shocking decision. Long story short, the boy ran away with the accused teacher, with the therapist. They ran away together. Teacher 35 charged with that, I can't say that word, after allegedly having relations with her 2 adopted teens. Substitute teacher 27 charged with improper relationship with students. Ohio teacher 28 charged with carrying out twisted relationship with student. Married teacher admits to having relations with 16-year-old student in school closet, even in the bushes. Is there any more? And this is a video of a woman who had relations with an 11-year-old boy who's being arrested by police. Here's another case of a teacher who had relations with 2 pupils and is jailed, and she shows no remorse for that. Now, the reason why I like to talk about these cases is because of memes like this. Police, 2 teachers accused of having threesome with teenage students, and this is supposed to be the teenage student. So what they're trying to do is make it seem like, hey, he's happy that he got to have some action with 2 teachers because they're cute. And so that's one of the reasons why I talk about this, is because I want to dispel the notion that boys cannot be victims, underage relations. That somehow, if the teachers are cute, if the teachers are hot, that the boy is somehow lucky, that he enjoyed it. And we think there's no consequence of it. And the reason we have to stop thinking like that is because they get short terms because they're cute, because they're pretty. And we have to dispel that notion that the boys just aren't okay because they enjoyed the act. There are many things that teenage boys enjoy, or kids in general enjoy, that's not good for them. There are kids that enjoy getting high. It feels good to them, but it does not mean that that's good for them. Okay? And also, I also want to dispel this notion that only men can be predatory. Women can be predatory too. Because it seems like every week or every 2 weeks, there's a new case of a woman touching on a underage male. This happens often. And we ignore it because they're cute. But when a man does it, hey, that breaks headlines everywhere, and we throw him under the bus, and we should. Adults should not be touching children. Okay, so why am I talking about this? Why am I bringing up all these cases of teachers, women, not just teachers, so with some nurses in here too. Why am I bringing up all these cases of women inappropriately touching boys? I'll show you why. So I posted this story in my Facebook group, and it's a feel-good story from a few years ago. It says a school breakfast with dads left out some kids without fathers. So the school asked for 50 volunteers, and 600 men showed up. Now that's beautiful. You have 50 kids that didn't have dads, and 600 men agreed to be their fathers just for the day so they can have this event, this breakfast with dads. And so it showed how, and a lot of these are black men, some are Hispanic men, but it shows how men, regardless of their ethnicity, want to support children and be there for children. Beautiful story, wonderful story. Okay. Doesn't matter. It happened a couple of years ago. Let's play the ABC story. This happened back in 2018. Can I blow this up? Let's see if I can make this bigger. Yeah, I can. Let's play it.
America Strong. The boys gathered in one school auditorium who suddenly felt the love.
How y'all doing, gentlemen?
You're about to witness something extraordinary that happened at Billy Earl Dade Middle School in South Dallas. They were organizing a Breakfast with Dads event, but they knew that some dads would not show.
These are mostly black kids. Look at that.
So they posted this message online. Please share, men need it. The reality of a great event like this is a lot of our kids will not have a dad present. We are in need of at least 50 or more additional male mentors. And what happened next stunned them all.
Look at all these men here. Isn't that amazing?
Hundreds of men showing up to mentor the boys. 600 filling the auditorium. The look on the students' faces said it all. Sharing the simplest of life lessons, how to tie a tie, how to play the trumpet, and sometimes just offering an ear.
Hi, David. My name is Exorian McQuarter.
Exorian, in the 7th grade, told us it inspired him.
It was pretty special, a one-in-a-lifetime experience.
He met so many fathers, like Assistant Chief of Police Jason Rodriguez, right there with 6th grader James Cruz.
When I walked in the room, words could not describe the feeling that came over me.
It was absolutely a life-changing event.
Jameel Tucker, a volunteer dad too.
Our young men need us, and it's our time to pay it forward.
Which is exactly what they did.
We love this story and those messages they sent us today. Thank you for watching here tonight.
So even ABC News talks about how beautiful this story is. And again, this is, if you look at the images, these are mostly black boys that don't have any fathers to show up to this event. 600 men showed up for them. 600 men across the color spectrum showed up to help be mentors to these boys. Mostly black men that showed up. Because they love to push this notion that black men ain't you know what and black men don't want to take care of kids. Nah. 600 men showed up, and most of them were black men to help mentor these children. That's a beautiful story, don't you think? That's a positive story. You know, exactly. This proves that men, especially black men, want to care about our boys. Absolutely. We talk about that study. I think it was by the CDC that talked about how black men are statistically the most involved fathers. They're more likely to change diapers, more likely to read bedtime stories, more likely to pick up their kids and take them to school. It happened in South Dallas. Okay. Beautiful story. A kind of story that brings tears to your eyes. So I posted this in a Facebook group that I have. Okay. And this is what I'm going to block out her face because I want to be respect. I want to show her a level of respect that she didn't show men. Okay. And there was a woman who wrote, unfortunately, PDF files like children too. And that this is the hidden danger here. Even though it's meant for good, there will be those who will exploit it for evil. What kind of shit is that to say at a positive story? You have 50 boys, mainly black boys, that don't have dads. 600 men show up for the 50 that didn't have fathers and volunteered to be their dads at this event. And the first thing that comes to your mind is how this is a bad thing because predators might show up. And you call it a hidden danger. What the hell is wrong with you? Now, I have a lot of mutual friends with this individual. That's how they found my group. And I looked at their profile. This is on their profile. About me, walking the narrow path, anchored in the Word, led by the Spirit, encouraging others to follow Jesus. I went through her profile and she has a lot of Republican stuff, a lot of conservative stuff. So here you have a Christian conservative that sees a story. Now, here's the thing. Whenever you talk to conservatives, they love going in and trashing the black community. You black men need to pull up your pants, stop smoking that weed. Take care of your kids. Stop committing crimes. Isn't that what we always told? That we're just a bunch of super criminals, particularly by those on the right? Especially when it comes to modern women who think we should step up and take care of somebody else's kids. They love saying some stuff like that. So here you had 600 men show up to take care of 50 kids. And even still, you've got something negative to say while encouraging others to follow Jesus. How is that the first thing that pops in your head? Black men do something positive, and the first thing you do is look for the negative in it. You look for the negative in it. I couldn't believe that. Now, when I heard that lovely lady, or when I saw that lovely lady, and I'm using that in quotations, say that, I wanted to clap back at her. But I said, no, I'm not going to do that. I'm not going to do that because I can use it. I can use it on the show. Okay. But I want to give a shout out to the brothers that were there to respond and correct her behavior. Mr. Huff writes, yep, these will be the same women asking where are the real men who are willing to step up, as women shouldn't be out here doing work alone. Shout out to Mr. Arturo. This ain't got nothing to do with that. This blank ain't got nothing to do with this. There was no reason for her to bring it up. Then she wants to fight back. Shout out to Jonathan T. West. Talk about jealous. Men know where their priorities are. We would rather help children than to go to clubs, mixers, meet and greets, and all other events that women are creating to lure men in attempts to find possible mates. We read comments like this and say, nope, hard pass. Exactly. Now, I like what this woman wrote. She said, this is another woman, God bless her for saying, she says, you were not wrong. Some people are predators and would take advantage of this kind of event. And that's true. I just went through a long list of women who are teachers and one who was a nurse who used their position to take advantage of young boys. Okay. And I'm sorry if you've ever been victimized or know someone who has, which would help explain your unbalanced statement. But that's the problem I and apparently others are having with it. The problem with your comment is not that it isn't true, because it is. No, the problem is that you've essentially thrown a bucket of cold water on a positive, inspiring story. Surely you're not suggesting such events should not happen, just in case, are you? Surely you're not saying the chances of a child being victimized outweigh the need for fatherless children. That's a bar right there. Surely you're not saying that the chances of a child victimization outweigh the need for fatherless children to feel cared about and affirmed for an hour, are you? You throw your bucket of water without addressing how that need is being met. You offer no alternative, thus the reactions you're getting. And people were cooking her. I'm not going to play all of it because people were cussing her out. And that's the part that blows my mind. Again, you see a story of black men, 600 men, mostly black, coming to help 50 children who need fathers. And the first place you go is that you call them potential predators. You call them potential predators, but you want to encourage others to follow Jesus in your profile.
Now streaming on Patreon. Layman's Journal Chapter 285. I'm going to start this video with an excerpt from a content creator named Marina McBain. And she's going to talk about how the most romantic movies, the movies that women seem to all love, are about cheating.
I genuinely think that Hollywood wants me to cheat on my future husband. And I'm not being dramatic. Because according to nearly every romance movie ever, if my toxic ex-boyfriend shows up in the rain looking mildly regretful, apparently I'm supposed to throw my entire life away and run into his arms. And I grew up thinking that was peak romance, okay? 16-year-old me watched those scenes and thought, yes, that is what true love looks like. Messy, desperate, and completely willing to destroy anyone who gets in the way. If someone leaves their fiance at the altar just because their real love walked back into town, that is not betrayal, that is epic. Because now all I could think about was how almost every single iconic love story involves some type of cheating. And that's not an exaggeration. The Notebook, cheating. The Office, cheating. Titanic, cheating. Cheating, 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 cheating.
Yes, and I think she's correct. Hollywood has romanticized women finding true love through cheating. And the thing that's so significant about the men these women choose to cheat on is they aren't villains. They aren't abusive, unattractive, negligent, or philanderous. They're just not as fun or romantic as the guys they cheat with. In other words, they're the safe choice, the practical choice. They're stable, responsible men with ambition who would make for great husbands in the real world. The problem is, they're boring. They don't have the swag or charisma, the spontaneity or romance the cheating women are looking for. And once the cheating woman decides to leave her boring, stable husband or boyfriend for the charismatic guy, the movie ends, and it gives you the impression that they have a happily ever after. As we in the audience are led to believe, they go on to live the perfect life, filled with constant joy and romance, where every day is a day their love grows stronger, that they never fight or struggle in their relationship. But more importantly, the woman is never bored. But those of us who live in the real world know that's not true. Those fun guys often make for terrible husbands. And those adrenaline-driven, love-drunk women will eventually get tired of the fun guy and will be regretful of the choice they made. And the film Blue Valentine is a classic example of that. On the surface, it's the story about a young college student, a pre-med major named Cindy, who dumps her college sweetheart in favor of a young, handsome, bohemian high school dropout named Dean. And in the beginning, their relationship is one of those Hollywood whirlwind romances that are often celebrated in entertainment media. But as the film goes on, you'll see that all that glitters ain't gold.
You've just seen a preview of my latest video, which you can watch now in its entirety, uncensored and without obstruction, exclusively on Patreon. Again, that's patreon.com/Laymans Journal. Hope to see you there. I'm out.